Old age is a time we look forward to for rest and enjoying the fruits of life. However, stroke, a dangerous disease, can strike at any time, especially when the body is no longer as strong as it once was. However, a stroke is not the end. It can be a challenge, a battle that we can win if we understand it and know how to prevent it. You will never forget the feeling when the doctor tells you or your loved one that they have had a stroke. It's a shock, a fear not only for health but also for the future. Let's listen together to the stories of elderly people who have faced a stroke and how they conquered the illness, returning to a healthy life. In this video, we will explore the inspiring stories of those who have overcome stroke in their senior years, as well as strategies and methods for preventing and recovering from stroke. We will learn how to push back against stroke and live healthier, happier lives in our later years. What is a stroke? A stroke, also known as a cerebrovascular accident, occurs when the blood flow to a part of the brain is interrupted, causing damage to brain cells. This can happen due to a blocked blood vessel, ischemic stroke, or a ruptured blood vessel, hemorrhagic stroke. This section will provide detailed information on how strokes occur, the types of strokes, and the causes behind them. Risk factors. Stroke is not a disease for just anyone, but there are certain risk factors that make older adults more prone to strokes. An unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, high blood pressure, and diabetes are major contributors to stroke. This part will share risk factors and statistics on the rate of strokes among seniors. Impact of stroke on the body. Stroke can cause many serious issues, from paralysis to difficulty speaking and walking. However, stroke is not always the end. It can be an opportunity to change your life if you know how to take care of your health and remain persistent in recovery. Stroke warriors, success stories from the U.S. David Ortiz's story, the Big Papi of Boston Red Sox. David Ortiz, the legendary American baseball player, was diagnosed with a stroke in November 2019. At the time, Ortiz was 43 years old, having retired from playing and living a fulfilling life. The shock of hearing this news not only worried him but also the entire baseball community worldwide. However, with support from his family and medical team, Ortiz fought through. He underwent several surgeries and treatments, but with determination, Ortiz quickly recovered. "I know that the stroke was a shock, but I didn't want it to be the end of my life," Ortiz shared after his recovery. Currently, he has returned to his business ventures, participates in community activities, and is an inspiring figure for those fighting strokes. Gail Devers' story, Olympic track and field athlete. Gail Devers, the legendary American athlete, had a stroke in 1990 when she was just 23 years old. At that time, Devers was at the peak of her career, but her career and future were suddenly threatened when the stroke struck. She had to battle not only with her health but also with her mindset, as doctors said recovery might take years, if not result in full recovery. However, not giving up, Devers persevered with special rehabilitation exercises, adjusted her diet, and improved her lifestyle. This was not a fight of the body, it was a fight of the mind. "I never gave up, and that helped me win," Devers shared. After recovering, Devers returned and continued to win gold medals at the Olympics, proving that a resilient spirit is key to overcoming a stroke. Senator Mark Kirk's story, U.S. Senator from Illinois. In 2012, Senator Mark Kirk, 52 years old, was one of the prominent U.S. politicians who suffered a stroke due to a brain hemorrhage. When he woke up after surgery, he faced many difficulties, from not being able to speak to trouble with movement. Despite the physical limitations, Kirk did not give up. He was determined to recover and dedicated much time to rehabilitation, including learning to walk, speak, and regain his writing ability. "I decided not to let the stroke defeat me. I asked people not to say it can't be done because I believe there's nothing you can't overcome," Kirk said. After a long recovery process, Kirk returned to work, serving in Congress and continuing his career. His story is a testament to the strength of willpower and the belief that difficulties can be overcome. Richard Overton's story, U.S. veteran. Richard Overton was one of the longest-living U.S. veterans, having fought in World War II. When he was 107 years old, in 2018, he suffered a stroke and had to be hospitalized. At that point, many believed he wouldn't make it. However, with the support of doctors, family, and friends, Overton recovered and quickly returned to his daily life. "I didn't feel anything. I just thought I would walk again like I did before," Overton shared when talking about his recovery after the stroke. His story is a reminder that, despite old age, we can still overcome the greatest challenges in life. Dr. John B. Thompson's story, psychologist, Harvard University professor. Dr. Thompson, a renowned professor in psychology at Harvard University, suffered a stroke in 2015 while attending an international conference. This changed his life, but it did not break him. After being given special care at the hospital, Dr. Thompson followed a strict rehabilitation plan. He not only recovered physically but also inspired other stroke patients through talks and lectures on psychological recovery. "The stroke made me understand myself better and also made me realize that, if you want to recover, the mind is the most important factor." Dr. Thompson returned to teaching and continued to contribute to the scientific community, proving that maintaining a positive spirit is essential for quick recovery after a stroke. Preventing stroke in older adults. Healthy diet. Diet plays a crucial role in stroke prevention. A diet rich in vegetables, fruits, and fiber-rich foods can help lower blood pressure and prevent stroke. Providing advice on healthy eating habits, including limiting salt, sugar, and processed foods. Regular exercise. Regular exercise helps improve blood circulation, maintain stable blood pressure, and reduce stroke risk. Activities such as walking, yoga, and swimming are great for seniors. Offering advice on suitable exercise routines for seniors to prevent stroke. Regular health checkups. Regular checks for blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol levels are great ways to identify early risk factors for stroke. You should not skip regular health checkups to protect your health. Guiding on methods to check health and the importance of monitoring these indicators. Recovery after stroke, returning to life. Physical therapy and rehabilitation. Recovery after a stroke is a long process, requiring patience and support from family and professionals. Physical therapy helps patients regain movement and improve bodily functions. Providing detailed information on rehabilitation methods, from simple recovery exercises to advanced treatment techniques. Psychology and motivation in recovery. Recovery after a stroke is not only a physical matter but also a psychological one. Patients need to maintain a positive attitude, be persistent, and always believe in their recovery. Analyzing the role of psychology in recovery and sharing success stories of those who have overcome stroke thanks to a resilient spirit. Support from family and community. Family is a crucial source of motivation for patients recovering from stroke. Loved ones play an important role in supporting and accompanying the recovery process. Sharing how family and community can help stroke patients and community support groups for stroke survivors. Life continues, pushing back against stroke in older age. Encouragement and motivation. Stroke can be a major challenge for anyone, especially seniors. But as we've seen, with resilience, proper health care, and a positive spirit, everyone can overcome it and return to a healthy life. Encouraging action. If you or a loved one are facing a stroke, remember that nothing is impossible. Seek support, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and never give up. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope the stories and information shared here have inspired you and provided useful insights. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on new videos about health, life, and many other exciting topics. Be sure to share this video with your friends and family so we can spread these inspiring stories and motivation. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.